face of makeup. I never wear makeup.
I
I
never
did
wear makeup.
I did wear makeup to the tournament last weekend though because
I was gonna
um
say.
I was up at like a 5 a.m. and I just laid there and I didn't get
Tell a
so
date.
I was
I
awake at 5 but I didn't get up till
got
6.
woken
So I
up
was
by
like, ugh.
Pua, our dog,
Yeah, you look
at
so tired.
2 a.m. And then I was just like, you know what? There's just no point in going to
Yeah.
sleep for like 2 hours.
Yeah. You guys left at like 5,
Mm-hmm.
6? Cuz you guys got there like at 8, huh?
Yeah. I think we left at 6. I woke up
Yeah.
the house around 5:30. 5:30. Um, but I crafted and
Aw.
then I like got everything in the car.
See, we
Packed
need
snacks and
moms,
stuff.
yes, moms can do it all. They can do all those things that they need, but then they do need time for themselves, like crafting,
Yeah.
makeup.
There you go.
I don't know. For me right now, it's like BSing on TikTok, and I'm not even making TikToks. I just like to watch them for like an hour. And I'm like, oh,
Are
that's a
you sure
lot of
it's just
time I
an hour
wasted.
though?
No, sometimes it's like 2. Um, it's so funny. Sometimes I get messages from people and they're like, or not messages, but I had a video come up like, "Hey, you've been scrolling for a while."
Oh,
Yeah, go do something. Do
that's
you have I think it was my Apple Watch and it'd be like, "Stand up now" or something and I'm
yeah.
like, "Don't tell me what to do."
That's funny. I had my Apple Watch, and then Luca took it,
Mhm.
and now it's somewhere in my house, but I don't know where because
And
it's
yeah,
dead.
it's dead now, so you can't find it.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's crazy.
so somewhere in my house. I'm sure we'll
You'll
find it when
find
we
it when
move.
you PCS, yeah.
But
All right. I'm so excited. It's been
I
a
am
while.
too. It
All
has been a
right.
while. Okay.
Let's do our intro.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to the Vale Tudo Mama show. I'm Christine.
I'm Carissa. We're on season
We are on season 2, so we've been BSing for like the past 9 minutes or so.
2. Yeah.
But it's been a good break. I mean, we got a lot of things we caught up on. Carissa got a
Yes.
new job. Am
We
I
did.
allowed to say that?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And then there were the
um.
holidays.
Yep. We were in Reno. I guess that was it.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah. But still, it was a
mhm.
busy couple weeks.
Yes.
And
But
so
I'm glad to be back.
me
It is
too.
2023,
It is
and
2023.
I'm actually really excited for like what the year holds for us.
Me too.
You
Me
know, like
too.
because I
Yeah.
don't know, like jujitsu's year round, so it's not really like a season, but it
Right.
is like I guess some people may say like Pans is your season, but I know
Mm.
a lot of people don't necessarily go to Pans, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like because like in other sports, I feel like when their season is and when it starts and when it ends. I think for
Right. Right.
jujitsu and even other martial arts, it's like
There's not
it's
really a
always
downtime. Yeah.
ongoing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all the new things. Did the kids set their goals of like what they want to do this year and stuff?
For like life or for like jujitsu?
Both.
Okay. So Dahlia said that she wants to be a world champion. So that's her goal.
She can do it. I know she can.
So it's her um, goal to go to Pan Am's this year. So we'll do that. Like we already planned on going. But we do want to do some IBJJF like competitions or tournaments before she goes, so she kind of has a feel for it before. Instead of just going in blind. And then I know Kenny was working on an MMA match that kind of fell through. I don't really know what happened there, but that's okay. So he's working, he's been focusing on jujitsu a lot. Um, and so maybe we'll try for this year for MMA for Kenny. Um, but I'm super excited for them. I have a goal to make it to more than one class a month. I did hit my January quota though, if I was going on last year's goals.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, so I did go to a class this week. I do plan on going regularly again, so I'm super excited. Um, I'm I rather much prefer nogi, but like, have you seen the guys that train from the gym that I go to? They're
Yes.
not like, I'm not gonna say I want them to take it easy on me just because I'm a girl, because I feel like that like kind of downplays like women empowerment, but like I don't want them to kill me during like a practice. So, but that's my goal. What about you guys?
Um, so Layla had a goal for cheer to make it to All Star Worlds, and they did. They got their bid, and then um, she has a goal to go back to Pan Am's and
Yay.
win Pan Am's again.
That's awesome. She's so
And
awesome.
it's just like all these goals, and I'm just like, oh goodness. She has like little goals in terms of like skills and whatnot that she wants to learn. Like she
Okay.
wants to do, I think it was her aerial. Like she wants
Ooh.
to like
Yeah, yeah,
get
yeah.
her aerial down, and she landed it like 2 nights ago at practice. So
That's awesome.
it's
I'm
funny because
so
it's like,
proud of
okay, that's
her.
her goal, but like it's definitely only the 20th of January. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
That's
sure
awesome. You're
she'll,
like, set more goals, girl.
yeah, just set harder goals or something. I don't know. But, and then she wants to take it easy, or I guess be slower when she's, I guess, testing at school is, I
Okay.
guess, the best way to put it. She was saying like she gets super almost like into it,
Uh-huh.
and then just like rushes herself. Like I think she gets
Oh, okay.
overwhelmed like with like
Right.
time. So she rushes through it, and she goes back after she gets the test, and she is like, "Oh, I shouldn't have missed that because I know that I didn't do whatever
Right.
it is that she didn't do."
Right.
And it doesn't happen too much, but I think it happens enough to where she's like, "Yeah, that's I need to fix that."
It's just like a silly kind of like little mistake where you're like, ugh, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Like you're a little like annoyed with yourself. Like, that's good that she's learning that because, it does happen a lot even as an adult. So it's good
yeah.
that she's learning that now.
And then I guess it would be great for me to actually get on the mats again.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's a goal because I don't know if it's actually going to happen.
That's okay. I mean, it's
I
like
don't know if
a
I'm committed to that.
it's a good
So,
idea. The more you bust it out, like I could do this. I could do this. Even if you just stand on the mat.
I mean, I stand on the mats, take videos and pictures. Does that count?
I mean, it gives you more familiarity, so yeah, why not?
Yeah. I don't
Mhm.
know. Well, we'll see. Maybe if I slow down work wise, I'll do it. And maybe when Luca actually starts. So that's another thing.
Oh, that might be a
Lu-
yeah.
Lucas Lucas Luca turned 3.
Yay,
So
happy
when
birthday.
he's like 3.5-ish,
Mhm.
we'll probably really get him started. I'm thinking over the next couple months I may bring him in for like fun Fridays,
Oh, cool.
just to like actually be on the mat. Like I mean he's at the gym all the time, but he's definitely at the gym eating and playing and doing everything else but jujitsu.
Right. Oh, I think I have somebody knocking on our door.
Yay!
Hello there.
Hi, ladies. Good afternoon.
Hi,
Hello.
Elsa. So, if you guys don't know, this is Elsa. She is a newer jujitsu mom.
Newer, yeah.
Yeah, she's our special guest for the day. We were just BSing about our just like new year, new me type kind of
Oh,
stuff, and then Carissa was talking about putting her little one on the mats. He just turned 3, so he's super cute. He's one of my favorite little people
oh,
ever.
do it. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for
Yeah,
mine to stand
so
up and he's getting on those mats. Like prodigies.
he's already yeah, he's already crawling.
He's not scared of the mat, that's for
Well,
sure.
Yeah, it's
Luca
awesome.
has pretty much been surrounded, I guess, by the gym, the mat, for as long as he would ever remember. I want to say he was like a week, 2 weeks old, and I was
Ah,
definitely bringing him like to Layla's jujitsu practices. Back then, that was in Georgia. So just waiting for him to listen a little more.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
oh yeah.
doubt that professor can like handle it, but he's definitely like, I don't know, he just turns it on and he has like the puppy dog eyes and like everything, and so
Oh,
give it a couple more months.
Wrapping
so
everyone around their
cute.
fingers already.
Yeah, totally. So, now that Elsa's on,
Elsa.
Elsa,
Yeah. Soft Z.
Elsa. There you go. Soft Z. Got it. Okay, now that Elsa's on, I did want to give her a moment to introduce herself. I know I introduced her, but it'll be fun to hear a little bit about you.
Yeah. I am right now a stay-at-home mom. Although I've done my dabbling in marketing, I have a degree in like psychology that I've never used. Uh, and we're originally from Chicago, but obviously right now we're living in North Carolina for the time being until the military tells us otherwise, of course. But that's about all I do right now. I sit at home and I make sure my kids are happy, and
That is
that's about
awesome.
it.
And that's not all you do
No, I know.
because we all know, or like we both know, the life of a stay-at-home mom is never
It's
quiet.
it's it's not just that, yeah.
It's always
We have
something.
all
Yeah.
the hats, all the jobs,
All
24/7,
the
but
hats.
it's good for now. I'm lucky to stay at home, I think,
For
personally,
sh-
but
for sure, for sure. I completely agree with you and me.
So, Elsa, can you tell us a little bit more about your kiddos? They're super cute, by the way.
thank
Like,
you. Yeah, most of
just
the
saying.
time they're really cute. Yeah. Like
They're
I would say
so
like
cute. Oh my
80%.
gosh.
That other
I mean, but
20%,
they're
no.
yours, so you're allowed to say that. To
Exactly.
everybody else, they're just cute all the time.
Yeah, no, they're great. They're solid kids. I'll say it, they're solid kids. I'm not bragging, but yeah, Atlas is 7. He'll be 8 this year. And then Nova is 4. She'll be 5 in a few weeks. When is your birthday? In 3 weeks, yeah. So um she'll be 5, he's 7, and they're both in school right now. Nova is in pre-K, and we are very thankful she's doing well. She is our little, I don't know if it's because she's the middle child, but she's our little like tyrant. Um, she's very bossy, very bad with discipline and authority, which is why the main reason we wanted to get her into a combat sport. Um, she just needs authority figures just around her at all times, and I'm really thankful we found a gym that has worked out for her. But yeah, Atlas is going by the Titan, and Supernova is Nova. We named them at birth so that they could have cool sport names for their entire lives. Like
Awesome.
that
I
was
like
literally
it.
my
I
goal.
like it.
I was like, Nova, Supernova, that's going to be on all her jerseys. It's perfect.
There you go.
But yeah, they're doing good. They really like it. They're very passionate at a very young age, and I'm really excited about it. But that's them in a nutshell.
That's really good.
They're pretty cute.
And how long have they been doing jujitsu now?
So their first class which was at another gym. They did 2 classes at another gym before we came to Raw. Um, was a little before Thanksgiving. So they've been in for about, I would say, like
Nice.
2.5 months, roughly.
And they already did their first
Yeah,
comp.
they're on
Oh, that
a
is
Yeah.
fast
so
track. Yeah, they're
cool.
on a really fast track, surprisingly enough.
Wait, did you guys go to another one
Hmm.
here? You did,
Yes,
right? Oh,
yes,
okay. It was it the one I'm thinking of?
yes, probably.
Oh,
The
okay.
one everyone went to and then
Oh, okay.
did.
And then
Yeah,
dipped? Yeah, okay.
that'd be
No,
it.
that's okay.
Um,
Ooh, what was
That's
that? Okay.
awesome.
Let me pull up my questions. So, oh, I know you talked about Atlas. Was it Atlas who did baseball or was
yeah,
it
they
Chris?
both did actually. Well, so Chris
Okay.
grew up on baseball. That's his sport.
Okay.
My husband Chris,
Yeah.
and so he was, of course, adamant that Atlas try baseball first, and so that was his thing for about a year and a half. He liked it. I think he liked
Nice.
having friends more than the actual sport
Hmm.
itself. But as
Yeah.
soon as Nova came of age, she did t-ball as well. And although we love baseball, I love baseball, like baseball games, not
Hmm.
necessarily watching it. I'm there for the
Yeah.
food. But they just didn't really click, I guess you could say. I'm not saying they have to be the best
Okay.
at something, but baseball just, I think it's a longer game, so it's really hard to, for kids especially, to see like the results, like, oh, we won after an hour and a half of gameplay, whereas three
Right.
minutes and winning works for them. They like
Yeah.
that instant gratification. Yeah, that's basically all they've done prior, sport wise, like athletic wise. We weren't really sure if
Okay.
they were going to be athletic, or you never really know with kids.
Right. Right. That's cool. Like I I only ask because I don't know. I don't know if you could compare baseball to jiu-jitsu in a sense. It
It's
baseball I
hard.
feel is like it's more of a team sport.
Hmm.
I mean, like jiu-jitsu's not really a team sport. You're on the mat alone. Well, not alone, but with
Yeah,
the other opponent, and then you go back to your team, and like that's the team part.
right.
But baseball is like if you don't have a first baseman, you kind of
And you have to be really
SOL.
good at one thing in baseball. You know what I mean? Like you're either a really good
Right,
hitter or a really good pitcher, or you play the field really well. Whereas I feel like in
right.
jujitsu, you got to be good at everything. Like you can't, you can't just be
Yeah.
one thing. Like Atlas, you can't just do double leg takedowns for the rest of your life, buddy. We got to learn other things and do other
I
things.
yeah. I mean, he could do them. He just gotta mix them
Yeah.
up. Yeah, yeah. No, but he is so good at them. It's amazing, and he's only 2 months in. I'm like, dang, bro.
I don't know why that's the thing that clicked, like automatically. Like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna sweep some legs. That's
There you
that's
go.
what I do on the mat.
That's
Layla loves
that's
double
pretty
leg,
good. Yeah.
even until now. Like she used double leg takedowns on like 70% of her cheer squad.
Why does
Just
she
for fun.
take them?
Just for,
Um,
Do they practice jujitsu in the middle of cheer?
not in the middle, but like
Oh, okay.
before and after. Yeah, I think it's because so she's a flyer for cheer. So they
Right.
throw her up in the air, and she's only like 50 pounds, and she's like one of the smallest kids on the team because her team goes all the way up to like middle
oh, okay.
schoolers.
Okay.
So I think for them, it's just like, but you're so tiny. And so
Oh,
it's
it's like
almost one
kind
of
of like
those like,
prove it.
can you
Yeah.
really do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I guess one of the moms was telling me like half of her cheer team is like scared of her because she takes down kids who are like twice of her like body weight
Yeah.
and just snaps them with a double leg.
I like it.
And it's
I'm
just
proud of
like,
her.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
oh,
She's
I think all of her.
amazing.
She's really cute. She's
Yay!
really cute too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so you kind of touched on this a little bit with um, getting your kids into jujitsu for at least
Mhm.
Nova because you wanted kind of like that dominant like figure per se to like coach her and stuff like that. What about for Atlas? Or is there anything else that like made you look at jujitsu as opposed to other martial arts?
So I had zero experience, knowledge, anything about jujitsu coming into everything. It was more Chris, my husband's input. He did karate and judo when he was younger, so he had kind of like that inkling of what a combat sport is. But I think we knew we didn't want to do karate just because we don't really want them playing with sticks and stuff and weaponry. And knowing that jujitsu is more of like a smaller person's sport, if that makes sense, um, that was intriguing.
I mean,
Like that was something I was like,
yeah, she was.
my children are petite and they're probably going to be petite their
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
life,
yeah.
Latino,
Okay.
Filipino, that
Well,
mix doesn't make for tall kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
yeah,
kind of
no,
the, like going into it. We're like, okay, let's try this out, see how this works. And if it doesn't click, it doesn't click.
mhm,
We'll move to something else. But I think we just wanted to
right,
start with like the intensity first of jujitsu before, if we got to
for
slow it
sure,
down or anything like that. Luckily it
for
clicked.
sure. Yeah, I mean, like Chris had just said that Layla's over here taking down people twice her size. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely works for little people. Oh, and when I mean little people, I don't mean like
Smaller
people
kids,
with dwarf, like
smaller,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
smaller sized
yeah,
individuals.
yeah, yeah, not like little people. Sorry, I don't
I
want to
know
get
terminology.
canceled.
Terminology is hard sometimes. But yeah, that was our main concern going into a combat sport because it's scary. Like, what if they get hurt? What if we didn't even know going in that we wanted to compete. Like that was never in our heads. You know what
Ah,
I mean?
got it.
So yeah, but then it happened. So that's fun.
Well, now
No,
it's
I
like
think it's awesome.
you drank the
She drank the
Kool Aid.
I
Kool
drink
Aid.
no
You're
what
gonna keep going.
I
You gotta keep going.
I sip the Kool-Aid. Chris chugs the Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
So like he went in hard.
he has gotten
When
hard.
Amante does like anything, they go in 100%, 110%. So
Yeah. No, he's over here like drinking it by the 5
yeah.
gallon. You know the ones that they pour on
On
the
the
coach.
Gatorade things, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. After they win the Super Bowl,
Yeah, he just carries that
he's over
around.
there bathing in it. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That is
Yeah, that's
awesome.
awesome. That's awesome. Let me look and see. Sorry, I'm going back on my pictures or my studio and my Google Doc. So how? I mean, I know you. Obviously, I met you through the school that we go to now, but how did you find us?
So that's honestly, um,
Did you just
it
Google it?
wasn't even a Google. So the first school we went to and tried
Oh,
out, like I said, it just didn't work for us. It was too businessy, if that makes sense. To like just come
you're so
drop your
nice.
kid
I
off.
can say a lot of
Yeah,
things.
I don't want to be mean because for some people that works. Like for some people that's what they
Right.
want. Us
Totally.
personally, we're the kind of family that likes to like immerse themselves in whatever community we
Sure.
decide to be in. And so after we did that, we were like, okay, we don't like this, we don't like this, we don't like this. Let's see if we can find something that's the complete opposite. And
Hmm.
luckily, Google is fantastic. Christine, it is fantastic. So when we were looking at other gyms, Raw actually popped up on Facebook because Big Brother's always
Oh,
watching and
sweet.
listening in on all our
Of course.
conversations. And it's
Yeah.
right; it's literally 5 minutes away from where we live right now. So proximity, I
Uh,
think, had a lot to do with it too. And I'm sure probably anyone who's been at the gym and everyone who's currently at the gym, that sense of community as soon as you walk in, like day one, was fantastic. Like Chino was great, Veronica was great. All the parents were so welcoming, like all of you guys, so welcoming. And then you could really feel like the sense of community and how comfortable the kids were, which is what we wanted. Like we didn't want to send our two little fighters somewhere where they weren't going to be comfortable. And when kids aren't comfortable, they don't grow to their full potential. So yeah, like we have Facebook guests and, the other school to thank, the other school not doing it for us to thank for coming to Raw. But yeah, it was an
yeah.
easy find, I think. I'm a really lucky find because
Mhm.
this is going to be a hard one to follow if we ever have to move to another gym or anything.
Oh,
It's gonna be rough.
yeah.
I know how that
Yeah,
feels.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
100%.
And like when you guys
Oh.
moved from gym to gym, was it hard to find like a gym that felt, the same? I guess I know they're not going to be the same, but
Yeah. Layla tried trial classes for 3 different
oh wow,
gyms at the time
okay,
here when we first got here. Um, we stuck with one that was a little bit more familiar, but at the end of it, like probably after being there for about 6 months, it was like, okay, we're still kind of missing
mm,
something here. And then that's when I finally decided to go with my friend's advice to check out our current gym now, even though it was an hour away. And it
mm,
was one of those things. I was talking to my cousin about it, and I was like, I almost waited so long to try it because I was afraid I was gonna like it.
okay,
It was like I kind of
Mm.
knew I was gonna like it, and then I'm like, okay, but am I really ready to drive an hour
yeah.
one way to take her to a practice? And I
And here
guess I
you are.
was.
And here you
So after like a couple months, I was like, okay, like this is where we
mm,
got to be. This is where we got
Yeah.
to be. We gotta
Yeah,
figure it
that's
out. So
it is a great school, I will say. I like going there as much as we can. We've been there a couple times. We're going there tomorrow. So,
yeah,
yeah, like we love the atmosphere that he has created. Your professor is amazing. He's so welcoming. All the parents at your academy are super nice. They always say hi when we see each other at tournaments and stuff. So they're all real good people. I'm really thankful for the community and
too.
um that everyone's pretty welcoming and like I like that. I mean, like obviously professor knows we don't live in a driving, you know, distance. It's like a journey. It's like 2 hours. So
Yeah,
when we go there, like he's very like he knows he's so welcoming. It's super nice. I like going there. We enjoy it,
you
and
guys should come.
we get to see
yeah.
the Gitas, and then we eat after. So
Food's always involved.
I'll,
it's always yeah, it's
yeah,
always a good
okay.
time.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, maybe tomorrow's a little short notice, but next
Yeah,
time
yeah, no, yeah.
the
That's
contest
definitely
come up.
something we want to do is check out like just other gyms in the area and all that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
it's nice to meet people.
Cross
It's
training
fun.
is really good
Yeah.
for the kids.
So, what were your expectations going to your first class at
Yeah,
Raw?
I really
Like
thought someone was
having,
gonna break an arm. Like at
Oh my
first it was
gosh.
like one of these kids is about to get broken. Like but no, that was like, that's that little worry in the back of your head. Um, expectation wise, I mean, we were just hoping the kids would like it. It's hard, I think, when you have like Christine, like two kids closer in age that want to do extracurriculars. Because, me, I don't want to be going to 8 different places all week because Nova
Right.
wants to do this and Atlas wants to do that. And I'm not saying that we won't do that in the future, but as of right now, while they, have less of a choice to say no, I guess you could say, um, it's nice that they both enjoy something that's in the same place and essentially the same thing and at the
Mhm.
same time. So that saves up a lot of space for us. But we just expected them to have fun, but also learn something at the same time, which is, a lot of places it's one or the other. Like it's either you're learning a lot, but they're not really enjoying themselves, or they're enjoying themselves too much. And do I really just want to pay for them to run around and, play with a ball all day? like, so,
Yes.
and I think the gym like really met our expectations. Like we knew right off the bat when they were like, oh, we want to go back tomorrow, that it was it.
Yes.
It's really hard, especially with kids. They don't want to do anything half the time.
Right. Right. And then you take them and then they don't want to leave.
Right, yeah.
So
You never get what you want, so.
yeah.
And then they also, as I mentioned, competed so early, so soon in their fighting careers, which is awesome. So you guys went to Naga in this last weekend. Tell us a little bit more about that. What were you expecting? What happened? Give us all the details.
It was an adventure, is the word I'm going to use. I mean, we like I said, we weren't intent on competing right away, but when the opportunity arose, like I said, we dive in. Chris drank the Kool-Aid and he was like, we got to do it. And I was like, all right, I'm here to support. That is what we do. And the kids were really excited too. So when we got the invitation to go and decided that we were going to do it, I think that we're again just like, okay, like we're doing this. This is their first one. Doesn't matter if they win or lose. We're here to have fun, and to see what it's about so we know whether or not they want to do it in the future. We expected it to be, I guess, I don't know. I don't know what we expected it to be, honestly. Because, we come from a background of like organized sports or not
Mm-hmm.
everyone running around on the mat.
Naga
Naga chaos.
chaos. No,
It
just
was,
kidding.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was chaos. It wasn't like, crazy chaos, but
Right,
like I was
right.
sweating. Like
It's intense. Yeah, it's intense.
It's intense, especially like going in not knowing anything and not even like we didn't even prepare ourselves. I didn't watch like any videos. Like I just knew like there's a bunch of mats and we're gonna be running around because everyone's gonna be everywhere. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and the kids did really
It's
well,
fun.
which surprised us. We weren't shocked.
Oh, they're
We weren't
awesome.
shocked. Like, you want to say, you want to always believe your kid has, a lot of potential and is the best at everything they do. But
Right.
honestly, like we were surprised. Atlas won his first match, no-gi, and I think that really set the tone for him. And Nova went right before him, and she also won her first match in no-gi, which I think set the tone for her too. Him seeing her win, her seeing him win, they're like, oh, okay, we can do this, we got it. And
That's so
yeah,
cute.
like they did really well. We were really surprised, and
So
seeing
cute.
Chris so excited because our coach couldn't be everywhere with everyone at all the time, so a lot of the parents were
Right.
helping out, and Chris was coaching our kids. Um, Seeing like the sense of community within the gym was really nice too. That like everyone was helping everybody out, like cheering everyone else on. It wasn't very me, my kid. It was like, no, everyone's doing great. Like that was really nice to see. But Nova took home 2 gold and a silver and her sword, which which we had to put up very high in the house. And then Atlas took home a gold and a silver. So for their first one, like not bad, I would say. Not
That's
bad.
awesome. I think they did fantastic.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yes. No, you're good. Christine, do you want to share with everybody how well Kenny and Dahlia did and
Oh,
Ra?
sure.
Oh yeah,
because that's so exciting.
Yeah. So Kenny and Dahlia did really well at Naga. Dahlia did expert division in Naga for the first time. I was kind of hesitant because I didn't want her to not have to, like, now I feel like she has to go in expert all the time and she's still really little. So I was like, but whatever. I mean, we're there now. She won her first no-gi match. She did win a champion belt, so that was really cool. I will say one of the older kids from the team, he was like, "Hey Dahlia," he's really good too. And he goes, "Hey Dahlia, do you want to come with me to walk to the trophy table so we can see the belts that we're gonna win?" And she was like, "Okay." So she walked over with Isaac, and then they walked over, they looked, and then they came back, and she's like, "I want the gold one." And I was like, "Okay, well, you got to win that, like you can't just want it, you can want everything all you want." So she won her belt, and then she won in gi. She won her first match, and then she lost her second, but she got silver, so that was really good. She had a really sick armbar where she was like on her head, and that's somewhere on Instagram floating around. And she did really good that day. And then Kenny also got first and second. So he got first in gi. Um, and oh, there's your dog. And this is the first time he's ever won gold in Naga. So,
That's good.
and we've done a
Really?
couple. So he was really happy to take home a sword. Because Naga the last time didn't go so well. His no gis went really well the last time, but his gi he got like submitted so
Mm.
fast. It was kind of sad actually. Uh, and then but he did win his bracket, and then he did really well in his no gi. He did lose. This girl did so good against him. She definitely dominated him. He's actually competed with her before at Fuji, and they were very, very close. He squeaked by with the win on that one. Um, but she definitely like dominated him in the nogi. Um, but they still did really well. I'm really proud of them. The team overall, the girls. Oh, her camera's like detecting her. It's so funny. Oh, hi, baby Rio.
Oh.
That's the professor
The
right there. That's
professor.
what we're calling him. We're calling him that. So the team overall did really well. The kids got second overall,
Yep.
and the adults won their gi team, and then they won overall adults.
Mm-hmm.
So they just got their
Yep.
belt. They didn't give it to them the day of. There was a big like snafu situation where they weren't awarded their belt that day, but they just got it in the mail today, and it looks pretty sick.
Pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie. So I'm really proud of what Chino and Veronica have done with the team in the past year, because we've been there since the doors were still like taped up, and we had homemade mats, and we sat on lawn chairs, like, or camping chairs. So to see them have like two adults who competed in their first tournament, to like 20 adults
Mm-hmm.
and winning is really awesome. So
That
I'm
is
really proud of them.
phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yay.
good job, Raw
Oh
MMA.
yeah.
Shout out to the best school in Jacksonville.
Yeah, great job. Great way to
Yes.
start the year.
And some
It is.
pretty awesome coaches too.
Pretty awesome, coach. Oh, shout out Coach Chino and Veronica. There you go.
Yeah.
And then the other coaches who helped, actually, like, there are a bunch of parents
Yeah.
who train, and they coach their kids
Mm-hmm.
throughout. Coach Steven, Nick was coaching, Mike even, and
Yeah.
Chris. Chris is really new. He
Brand
started
new.
after his kids started, and he's over
With
there coaching
his
his
little one
kids. So
stripe. Yep.
that's okay. One stripe's better than none.
Yeah.
So
Better than me. So.
yeah.
Better than me.
I don't have any stripes on my belt, so it's all good.
But you hit the mat this month, and that's all that matters.
I did. I told you, one a month. One a month.
Awesome.
All right, where are we on questions? Oh, so what are your goals, Elsa, for your kids? Do
Ooh.
you have any goals, or do your kids have any jujitsu goals?
Atlas wants to, as he says, like win all gold somewhere in the future. I don't know if it's gonna
Awesome.
be Fuji, but he wants to compete and just come home with a dripping in gold like his sister was, because he was a little jealous. But as far as
Oh,
I guess,
he did
yeah, he did
great.
great. No, he did. And we had our little, it's the first competition. There's a lot of jitters.
I remember.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
A lot of emotions.
Yeah.
But he did fantastic, and he knows that now, and that's all that matters. But long term
Yeah.
wise, I'd love to see them on pay-per-view. Making some money. No, but
That's cool.
short term, I would say
That's awesome.
Pan Ams is something that's like in the back of our heads. I know we're still really new, but just it's a big stage. It's a big one, and that's something that
For sure.
is a goal for
For
Chris.
sure.
Kool-Aid Chris is what we're gonna call him from now on, and for Atlas and Nova.
I like it.
Um,
That's
but
awesome.
essentially, I just want them to learn as much as they can and do as well as they can and they want to. And as long as that passion stays, like we're going to be supporting that fully for them. And then
That's
you're getting on the
awesome.
mat
And
next,
Rio.
Rio, Professor, right?
So cute. Yeah, those are some good goals. So we've never done a pan yams yet. But Layla has
Yeah.
done 3
Oh,
now, right?
three, two.
2 or 3?
Two.
2. Okay. So, and she got gold last summer, and that
Nice.
was amazing.
Yes.
We got to watch that on Flow, and that was pretty cool. I didn't get, I don't, do they have previous years on there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you
Oh, okay.
can
So I'll
watch them
probably,
back.
yeah.
So, yeah, the first year she went as a gray white belt. Because they only do
Mhm.
gray belts. They don't
Mm.
do white. And she got silver. And then last year she got gold. And she worked.
Yeah.
She has worked so hard. Around this time last year, she told me, she's like, I'm gonna go to Pans with Professor and like our gym and everything, and she's like, and I'm gonna win. And I'm like, okay, but like these are like the best of the best
Yeah.
kids, like
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well,
Like I know
she's
there's
one of
Yeah.
them. She's one of them.
but I don't know.
We didn't even
I'm
share
very
how Layla did at Naga.
Oh, true.
oh that's okay.
I didn't even talk
Um
about that. That's my ADHD brain. Like,
no, it's okay. Layla got a belt, a champion belt, so she got the gold one. She has this platinum or the silver one, if you will,
cute.
from last year, and then she got a gold
Mm.
medal. So she got double gold.
She's so awesome.
She won by 6 points for her no-gi match, and then she won by submission for her gi final match. She did some sort of back submission that's not the rear naked choke. I don't know what it's called.
Oh,
But it's
Something
like,
else.
I know Professor calls it like,
is it a bow and arrow? Because she did that on me one day.
I don't think it's a bow and arrow.
Oh, she was like, and I'm like, hey, you're 8. What are you
I
doing?
don't know what it is called. I just know Professor showed it to her one time, like at a private lesson, and he told her, if you this is like one of his favorite, I think, chokes or whatever, because there's like a 99.9% chance that he's gonna make that person tap.
Oh.
Nice.
So I don't know what it's called, but Layla did it, and she did.
That's awesome.
And so yeah, yeah,
That's legit, man. Layla's goals. She's
like,
goals for me.
so
I'm
like
over here like,
rusty. It's kind of funny because she's been training, but she really hasn't been so focused on jujitsu over the last, I would say, 2 months with the holidays, and she really wanted to get that like bid for Worlds with her cheer team. So I know she was kind of prioritizing that a little bit more, and now she's like, "Oh, I need to get my act together."
It's a
aw.
balancing act for sure.
Well,
it is so, but all good stuff.
yeah. Awesome. Oh,
Now we're gonna turn the tables a little bit. Elsa, do you have any questions for
Ooh.
us as seasoned Vale Tudo
I would
Mama?
say, I mean, you guys are very well seasoned. Like the seasonedest.
seasonedest. I like it.
I would first probably ask you if there was anything that now, after many, many seasons, that you would, I guess, like top number one advice, like number one piece of advice you would say for not necessarily like competitions, but just keeping up with the lifestyle, because that's what it is. I've come to understand, like, this is not a sport, this is not a hobby, this is life now.
Right. It is a lifestyle. I would probably say, um, don't I'm not gonna lie, my very first tournament for Kenny, because Kenny did jujitsu first, I was like a chicken with her head cut off. Like it was so bad. I was screaming. I was like, ah, like all of, and I still scream. I'm not. I'm like, especially if it's
Mhm.
my kid on the mat. I'm like awful at it, and I still have to check myself. So definitely, probably relax, a little more. Like, yes, take it seriously. Like we want our kids to
Right.
do their best, but like I still want my kids to enjoy it, and I don't think they're gonna enjoy it so much when I'm
Mhm.
literally like like barking at them
Right.
to do something. And I think the best way to alleviate that is to train yourself. So like obviously the tournament, there was like tournament
Mhm.
buzz, and then I'm literally like, I could still do this. Like, so I went to class this week. I think the best way to alleviate that is to also train.
Okay.
So you understand, like, um, you kind of understand where your kid, like, why you can't just tell your kid, stand
Mhm.
up, uh, because the other
Like
person's
they
not letting
can't.
you,
Yeah.
they want to win too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They want to win too. So, maybe just like take put less pressure on your kid that
Okay.
way. So, because it's really hard. So, um, that's probably my biggest is like train, but also try not to put that much pressure on your kids so they're not like hating it.
No, right.
I think that's my best advice. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
I think for me, it would be like, remember that you're a mom first. And the only reason why I say that is because it's so easy to get caught up into, like Christina saying, like coaching them or whatever. But like when they have a really rough
Mhm.
role, they don't want to hear what they did wrong or what they could
Hmm.
have done or whatever. They just want you
Right.
to hug them.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
and I know that sounds like, it almost sounds sad, right? Like, well, yeah, you wouldn't think that, but I've seen some parents who are very competitive, or we've kind of talked about how some parents kind of live vicariously through their
Mhm.
kids and stuff like that. And even me, like, there's a time when Layla was winning all golds, and then she probably lost one or something, and she was not used to that feeling. And instead of getting carried away with that, it's just like, you have to be the
Right.
adult, to like put things
Hmm.
into perspective. And I think sometimes it's very easy to get
Mhm.
sidetracked with all the gold and all the winning. On that same note, I think because you are that parent and you're gonna, like, sticking to that role, good or bad, I would say be a parent. And if you need to talk to their professor or their coach about how they're feeling or how you're feeling, like, do that. You could do it
Mhm.
discreetly. You don't have to have your kids know that you're doing it or whatever, like the case may be. But you do have to be their advocate, but also
Yeah.
just trust
Yeah.
the coach. you know
Yeah.
um there are definitely times now, like, Layla's a very emotional fighter, and there are definitely times where she gets in her head about things, whether that be pre or
Mhm.
post um tournaments or roles, even just at practices. And I'll just kind of let the professor know, like, hey, like, just a heads up, like, it's a mental thing, like, it's a mental block, or it's a mental, like, she's taking it too hard on herself. And I
Hmm.
think that's one thing that I love about both professor and coach. At you guys' gym is like, they know each of these kids as
Mhm.
individuals. And
Mm.
so they can really coach them and talk to them and kind of get through to them as
Mhm.
they need to. Because there are times when I will tell Layla something 3, 4, 5 days back to back to back, and it just doesn't click. And I literally tell Professor, like, hey, whatever the case may be, she
Get your
tells me,
girl.
and,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, and like, he tells her once, and she's like on it, and I'm like,
Thank you.
okay, cool.
great.
good.
And then they pick up on it, and then they're like, oh, like it's brand new information.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
thanks,
Like,
kids. It's
okay,
because your
so that I
mom
Yeah.
sometimes they're like, meh.
Desensitized to our
yeah.
voices. They just don't, doesn't
I think
register
so.
anymore.
So that's my big thing. Is just like I guess like know your place as
No,
like a
that's, yeah.
parent. Not that that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's very easy to get carried away
Hmm.
Right.
in
Very
all
easy.
different directions.
Oh, did you guys see the like parents that or the moms that were fighting
I
at Naga?
missed it.
Speaking of getting
Does
carried
that happen
away,
often?
I don't
Oh, I
even,
missed it too.
to be honest, the tensions are high. I will say that, and I've heard
Hmm.
scuffles, like a bit of like,
Yeah.
"Rah, rah, rah," but I've never seen anyone like really, really in their
Yeah.
face, like how these ladies
Oh.
were. It was. I turned around and they were holding each other, or people were holding the ladies back. And to be honest, I don't know what even happened. I
Yeah.
asked one
Oh,
of the
did you?
ladies, because I'm nosy. So I asked them, I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And she was like, she touched a
Oh.
kid. Like she put her hands on a kid. So something like, I think one kid was kind of like having weird sportsmanship
Hmm.
or bad sportsmanship. And then the other lady was like, hey man, and like kind of
Oh.
like yeah, like the opposing team mom like was like whatever, and then touched the kid. It was like, come on, you gotta know
Hmm.
that's not okay. And then the other mom was like, don't touch a kid, and then they started yelling back.
There
I
should
don't
be
know.
a, like,
I only caught the
at
tape.
the end of it, there should be a rent a gi booth, and then
Yeah.
parents can just rent one and take it out on the mat if they need to.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, so where's your gi? And she was laughing. But she was like, whatever you do, you don't touch a kid. And I'm like, I agree 100%. Like, don't touch
Yeah.
a kid. So, kids are definitely off limits. And then one time at Fuji, we did have one of our dads get into it with another like coach or dad, but the coach was definitely in the wrong. And I was like, they weren't like completely
Hmm.
yelling at each other or anything, but they were like, one of the guys was like, mind your own, the other dad was like, mind your own business. And granted, like our team dad, whatever, was like, hey, like that's really not cool of you for making fun of a 12-year-old
Yeah.
girl, like for
Right.
crying, like, and the other guy was like, why don't you mind your own business? And they were like, he was like, you're a grown, and he's like, you're a grown man making fun of a
Yeah.
12-year-old little girl. Like,
Come on. Yeah.
get
Come
over
on.
yourself. Yeah. And I, now that I think about it, it just, it, people get really protective
Hmm.
over their kids. And like this was like some stranger kid. I don't even know. She was just crying. She probably hurt
Yeah.
herself
You
or
never know.
lost.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad for her. And then you got like a coach over here talking smack about a kid, and you're like, come on, dude. She's 12. Like, this could be her first
Hmm.
match ever, you know? Like, let's just have a little more
Yeah.
sympathy, you know?
Going
I
going
don't
off
know.
of that, since you guys are both, girls in jiu-jitsu moms, how has, like,
Sort of.
traversing having a girl in, like, a male-dominated sport still been?
Oh.
So I would say in the beginning when Layla started competing and she started losing and stuff, she almost had this preconception in her mind like, okay, I'm going against a boy. So a boy is naturally
Hmm.
taller, bigger, whatever. I'm going to lose.
Oh.
And it took us like some time to get past that. And now she's like, she still has some of it, but not necessarily against like boys. If she if she's seen a fight between this person and another person before, like, and she remembers it or something, like, like just like any
Hmm.
person, I think you kind of get nervous, like, okay, can I actually do this and that type of a thing. Um, so I think that's how it was a little bit when we first started. I definitely think she grew out of that. It took a while, probably took
Mm-hmm.
close to like a year. But now I think it's it's just nice and comforting to know, like, you know what, if the time ever came where she needed to defend herself, like she could, like she's fully capable of it. And um yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, whether it's um a boy or a girl, like Pan Am's, I was crying, I was shaking, I was nervous because, like, at that point, you just want them to be
Mm-hmm.
safe. Like, yeah, you want them to win, but it's like nail biting fights. Like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, to the point where, like, our professor would looked at me at Pans this last year before she went on the mat, and he was like, "You need to get it together."
Aw.
Because I was the one who was like nervous and everything. Like, he would just look at me and he's like, "You can't show
Mm.
her that you're nervous because then she's gonna get nervous. Because right now she's
Mhm.
fine, but the moment she sees you, it's like over." And I think that's not just for Pans, but
Yeah.
just in general. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
they pick up and
They
feed
feed
on
off.
you,
Yeah, they feed
but
off of
at the
that
same
stuff.
time, like, your mom, so you're always gonna
Mm-hmm.
be worried for them. Like, especially
Yeah.
like doing
Yeah.
submissions and all this stuff, like, you're
Yes.
gonna be worried. Um, so I guess you just gotta
The
learn
poker face.
to have a
Yeah.
good poker face.
Poker
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Dahlia is kind of built, I wouldn't say she's not built different, but she has a poker
Mm-hmm.
face even when she's competing. So I don't know sometimes if she is hurting
Yeah.
or if she is feeling frustrated, if she's losing the match, like I don't know. Because she could be happy and her face is like, you know. So like with my son, no problem. I can see the frustration on his face. He's like his mom. So but my biggest worry is that because she is smaller, she's always on the smaller end of like a weight class. She moves up, and everybody's gonna be, well, like they're like 10 pounds more. So um, they are her skill level, but they're just bigger and heavier. So she's got to work a
Mm-hmm.
little harder. So I think I worry about that, but I'm like, okay, this is gonna make her a better athlete. Um, so I'm okay with that. I do worry about her going with boys, not so much. I used to, but then I was like, oh, she
Mm-hmm.
has no problem. Her main training partner is a boy, so have only been boys. Like now we're finally getting girls, so it's really nice. So, and then, but she only competes with girls. It's mostly girls. She's competed against some boys, but so it makes it a little more difficult. I don't know. At this age, it's okay because they're
Mm-hmm.
still little. When she has to start going against boys like 10 plus, maybe, I think that's when I'll probably worry a little bit more because that's when they kind of like gain some like ego and gain some
Mm-hmm.
muscle and I don't want them to just muscle through a
Right.
role with her just because she's a girl, because I think she's a badass girl. So
She is.
um yeah, so I'm kind of like, right now I'm not too worried. I know I'll have a little bit more worries like in a little bit, but we're gonna like enjoy
Mm-hmm.
this kind of good age right now where she can kind of um compete or whatever with both boys and girls. It's not a big deal right now. Yeah. Um and I do like this for her for like when she gets
Mm-hmm.
older. Self-defense wise, like as a girl, maybe when we grew up, we're kind of taught not to like to be a little more complacent, like don't make noise, don't make a
Mm-hmm.
scene. And I like that she has jujitsu to help teach her like boundaries, strength, empowerment, those types
Mm-hmm.
of things. So I'm okay with that. I think that's a great thing that she should have. So I'm glad she gets to grow up with this because I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
any of that. I was like taught like you're a girl, so you could do dance
Mm-hmm.
and play piano and stuff. So it's fine. So yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with her being a girl in the sport.
Good.
Yeah. Any other questions? Are you
I
good?
mean,
Are
no
we
other questions. I'm
gonna?
feeling good.
Yeah.
Learned a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, jujitsu is like it's a really cool
Hmm.
community. Like it's a
It is.
really people are pretty warm and welcoming. It's really
It
small,
is.
so you get to see
Yes.
everyone. After you've done the same competitions in the same area, you're kind of like, these are the same kids I see all the
You're just
time.
watching
So
them grow up.
it's good to
Yeah.
branch
You're just
out.
watching them.
Yeah. 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 It's great. I mean, you have your Instagram and you get to see
Yeah.
all the people. So it's pretty cool. I think it's awesome. So I I'm just happy that the kids and the family get to be included. It's
We're
fun.
loving it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Gonna keep going for as long as we can until they say no.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where can the listeners find your kids or follow
Oh,
them
so
at?
we are on Instagram right now only. I don't know if we'll be branching out anywhere else right now. It's a lot to be a momager.
It is a lot.
They're at Atlas and Nova do BJJ. So pretty self-explanatory, but
Oh, okay. I'll put it in the little
captions or
notes or whatever in the little in the description. I'll tag you guys.
awesome.
So
Perfect. And
I
you
know.
can follow our kids' athletic journeys, Layla at Jiujitsu Girl on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep. And
And
then Dahlia and Kenny, they have Instagram at fightin.fontes.bjj. And they also have Facebook, but I don't know how to link them still. Like someone has to teach me. So I and
we'll
when
do
I
it tomorrow.
remember, yeah, it's on there. It's Fight in Fonties, but I don't know how to link them yet. It's kind of just there. So and it gets updated whenever I feel like it.
Yep.
So yeah. Yeah,
You know.
and we also have an email address. So if there's anyone that wants to email us for business inquiries, I laugh, but you never know. Or if you want to send us hate mail, we do have a Vale Tudo Mamas at gmail.com
Yes.
email address. Anything? Am I missing anything? I feel like we haven't done this in so long. This is our first
I
show back,
First
so
show
we're
of the
kind
new
of like,
year.
yeah, no,
A
first show
minute.
in
Oh,
like months.
we're coming in strong.
It's
Yes.
okay. And if you want to stay up to date with our podcast, please subscribe. And if you love us, leave us 5 stars and review.
Yay! Thank you, everyone.
Thank
We'll see
you.
you or hear you next time. Bye.
Yes.